The Tale of Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village at the edge of a deep, dark forest, there lived a sweet young girl named Little Red Riding Hood. She was called that because of the beautiful red cloak with a hood that her grandmother had sewn for her. She wore it everywhere she went, and everyone in the village knew her by it. One bright and breezy morning, Red Riding Hood's mother called her into the kitchen. "Grandmother isn't feeling well today," she said, placing a small basket on the table. Inside were freshly baked bread, a pot of butter, a jar of honey, and some sweet berry tarts. "Take this to her cottage in the woods, and don't stray from the path. Do you understand?" "Yes, Mama," Red Riding Hood said cheerfully. She kissed her mother goodbye, picked up the basket, and skipped off down the forest path, humming a little tune. Now, the forest was full of rustling leaves, birdsong, and whispering trees. But it was also home to creatures both kind and cunning. And not far along the path, behind the trees, someone was watching her. It was the big bad wolf. He stepped out from the shadows with a sly smile. "Good morning, little girl," he said smoothly. "And where might you be going on this fine day?" "To my grandmother's house," said Red Riding Hood, politely. "She's not feeling well, and I'm bringing her some treats." "How lovely," purred the wolf. "And where does your dear grandmother live?" "Just a little farther, past the 3 oak trees, in the cottage with the blue door." "Ah, I know the place," said the wolf, licking his lips without Red Riding Hood noticing. "Well, you'd better be on your way then. Wouldn't want to be late." As Red Riding Hood continued down the path, the wolf, quick and cunning, took a shortcut through the forest. He ran as fast as his paws could carry him, and reached grandmother's cottage before Red Riding Hood even saw the 3rd oak tree. He knocked gently on the door. "Who is it?" called grandmother. "It's me, Red Riding Hood," the wolf said in a sweet, high voice. "Come in, dear," said the kind old woman. The wolf crept in, and in one gulp, he swallowed grandmother whole. Then he put on her nightcap, climbed into her bed, and pulled the covers up to his chin. He waited. Soon, Red Riding Hood knocked on the door. "Come in, dear," the wolf said, trying to sound like grandmother. Red Riding Hood stepped in, smiling. But something felt off. "Grandmother," she said slowly, "what big ears you have." "All the better to hear you with, my dear," the wolf replied. "And grandmother, what big eyes you have." "All the better to see you with, my dear." "And grandmother," Red Riding Hood said, taking a step back, "what big teeth you have." "All the better to eat you with," roared the wolf, leaping out of bed. Red Riding Hood screamed. But just then, a nearby woodsman, who had been chopping trees, heard her cry. He burst through the door with his axe raised high and scared the wolf away into the forest, never to return again. He carefully opened the wardrobe, and out popped grandmother, safe and sound. For in this version, the wolf hadn't eaten her, just hidden her away. Grandmother hugged Red Riding Hood tightly, and the woodsman smiled, glad to see them both safe. From that day on, Red Riding Hood never strayed from the forest path again, and she always remembered, not everyone who smiles at you has good intentions. And they all lived happily ever after.